Hi everybody, this is Bill from turboDial, and this is a video on how to set up your hot lead alert. So the goal of hot lead alerts is to improve the speed of follow-up. And you do that by broadcasting an immediate alert to one or more of your turboDial users. And here's an example of what an alert looks like in turboDial. Here's the setup steps. First of all, you got to choose a campaign sequence in Infusionsoft that will send an alert. Now, of course, you can have multiple different alerts configured in multiple different campaigns. We're going to focus on one alert and one campaign. Second, you got to decide who should receive the alert. This can be any of your turboDial users. And then third is to build the HTTP post inside of a campaign sequence. We'll go through each of those steps. So when to send the alert? First of all, you're going to choose the campaign sequence that will send the alert. It must be a campaign sequence that runs in response to actions taken by your contacts. You do not want to choose a campaign that you would trigger for broadcast purposes. Individual actions is what hot lead alerts is all about. So an example might be when someone fills out a web form and submits it, or they click the link in an email, or you could use the email open tagging feature of hot lead alerts to have a tag applied when they open an email, and that tag goal could be used to trigger a sequence that sends a hot lead alert. Or you could use a lead score goal to send a hot lead alert. So who receives the alert? You have to decide who in your account should be notified with this alert. You could have it simply be everybody, all of your users that are logged in at this time to turboDial should get the alert. And that's easily accomplished just by typing the word all into the HTTP post in the correct line that will show you. Or there may be a specific user that you want to be notified. And then you can just enter his or her Infusionsoft email ID into the HTTP post. Or lastly, it could be multiple users. Not all, but some subset of all. And that could just be a comma-separated list of Infusionsoft email IDs as shown here. You're going to open a campaign sequence and drag out an HTTP post process, and you're going to build that out using instructions that I'm going to walk you through here. Then follow the instructions that are in your Customer Hub account for turboDial that's linked with this link. So let's go there now and log in. Under turboDial upgrades, you'll find hot leads. And if we scroll down, there's a click here for instructions on setting up a hot lead alert. This is all set up for you to simply follow along and copy and paste right from this account into your Infusionsoft campaign. Over here I've got an Infusionsoft campaign that's all set up and ready to go. This is triggered when someone fills out a web form asking for more information. And there's a sequence that sends them that information with an email. I want to add a hot lead alert to this sequence. So I'm going to pull out another start timer and an HTTP post. And I'm going to connect those. Call that send hot lead. Let's open that up. Now you see I have a post URL and some name value pairs. Now if I go back here, I can see I need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 name value pairs. The first one is already there for me. Let's add 4 more. Post URL is provided right here. I can simply copy that onto my clipboard, paste it here. Make sure I didn't inadvertently put a blank space at the beginning of that line, and I did not. Contact ID and Contact ID merge field is exactly what's supposed to show up first. But let's get the rest of these name fields filled in. There's key, users, chime, and I'll explain what all these are, and message. Key is going to be the turboDial token encrypted key that's been assigned to your turboDial account. And in your Customer Hub account, this has already been filled in for you right here. So I'm copying that to my clipboard and pasting it right there. Secondly is users. Now, this is going to be, like I said earlier, the word all, or an email address or a comma-separated list of email addresses. I'm going to put in the word all. It's as simple as that. I want all users to be notified. Third is a chime. This is the sound that's going to be played when the alert arrives. And there's some choices here. You can play and listen to them. I'm going to say chime number 2. And then lastly is the message. Now in the example I've got here, the message is shown, and it's got a merge field for the contact first name, a merge field for the last name, and then a phrase wants an appointment, get back to them as soon as possible. For this purpose, I'm just going to copy and paste this as is into my message. But as you can imagine, you can build whatever message you like and install it into this message field next to the message name. And it can include other merge fields that you can access using the merge button here. So now I have my HTTP post built. It's got a post URL, a contact ID, which was already created for me by Infusionsoft. I added key, users, chime, and message, and values for each of those. I can mark that as no longer a draft, go back to my sequence, and now I have an HTTP post set up to send a hot lead alert. As soon as I publish, that will be automatically set up and ready to go. And there it is. There's one more pro tip. I'm not going to go into this, but I want to call your attention to it in case you are a very knowledgeable and experienced Infusionsoft pro. Then you can follow these steps and you can take a look as to why you might want to do that. You don't gain any functionality here that I have already gone through, so if you're not a pro, don't worry about it. If you are a pro, this is a way to get your hot leads to be delivered a little bit quicker. Okay, everybody, we have gone through how to choose the campaign where you're going to send in a hot lead, gone through how deciding who should receive the alert, and we've created the HTTP post step in the sequence. Thanks, and happy hot lead alerting, everybody.